Howdy, my name is Cloudy. Go back to the channel. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, you know what I'm saying? I know there's only a few subscribers, but I appreciate the subscribers that's been coming over here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know it's a cloudy season, so we finna turn up, bro. And I'm finna start reacting to more like comic book type stories, like about Batman, Superman. Cause I saw one earlier this morning about Batman and Superman switching powers, but you know Batman got powers, but it was about Batman. He ended up having Superman powers and how he ended up using them. And that, bro, the story was dope, and I should have reacted to it, but when I saw it, I just got hooked on it, and I was stuck. I was just watching it. You know what I'm saying? I forgot to press record and all that. You feel me? But I promise y'all, bro, it's gonna be something. If y'all got a couple, bro, don't be afraid to let me know in the comments, bro. I do see the comments. You feel me? But today, we got some Marvel. You know what I'm saying? We got a video from Everything Always. We saw why Dr. Doom took Tony Stark's face, why it had to be Iron Man.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, the Russos have promised that Avengers Doomsday is going to deal with the wake of Tony Stark's death, and a lot of us took that to mean also addressing why in the world Victor Von Doom has Tony Stark from the 616's face. But something has always bothered me about this fact.
Specifically,
why would you want Tony Stark's face? Indeed, a lot of the characters in the MCU from the Infinity Saga had deep emotional ties and or history on the battlefield alongside Tony Stark and Iron Man, but when it comes to the Multiverse Saga, most of these characters are newly introduced, new to the Avengers party, so to speak, don't have any history with Tony Stark other than knowing who he was as a part of the MCU and a symbol of the Avengers. And outside of that, the characters that hang over that have been influential and during this part of the saga, say like Doctor Strange, don't have as an emotional tie as say a character like obviously Spider.
So bro thinks the reason why he took Tony Stark's face is because everybody pretty much knows him. They all have some type of relationship with him, I guess. Or he has the most personal relationships with people on the team than anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, had one-on-one talks with them and stuff like that, etc., etc. So I guess that makes sense. But I'm telling y'all, bro, I really think Dr. Doom was sitting in the background like Plagueis in Acolyte when he was watching Old Girl and Old Boy. I really feel like that's what he was doing, just sitting in the back. And I think Doctor Strange saw it. And I think he saw Dr. Doom I think he saw everything, bro, and just decided not to say nothing. I think that's the reason why when he looked at Tony Stark, I think what he was really saying was like, bro, someone stole your face.
We'll get into in during this video, unless there's something we don't know about Peter Parker, and given his predicament basically resetting himself to a complete anonymous in the 616, he certainly doesn't have enough influence or reason to merit Victor Von Doom specifically choosing Tony Stark's face. And outside of Spider-Man, characters that were closest to Tony Stark, say like Rhodey and Pepper Potts, surely don't have much to do with the fate of the universe as we enter
he has a relationship with Captain America.
So again, it begs the question, why did Victor Von Doom specifically choose Tony Stark from the 616's face? Well, we think we figured out the answer, and if true, there is...
Maybe that's why. Maybe because when y'all remember when him and Tony went back in time, they both went back to the same exact time, though. Like, you know, he went to go see his dad. Well, he didn't go to see his dad specific, but, you know, he saw his dad and Chris Evans, Steve Rogers, you feel me? He went to go do what he had to go do. I think he was returning the stones or something like that. I forgot exactly. But I believe that's what he did. But maybe the reason why he stole Tony Stark's face is because they both went back to the same timeline that might have caused Dr. Doom's family to die, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's the reason why. And maybe he's like, I didn't steal Steve Rogers' face because he's the one who ended up staying in the time. Like, he the one who went back and, you know, did all the extra stuff. So I'm gonna just take Tony's face because, you know, they both went back in time. Maybe he'll think Tony stayed back too or some shit like that. I don't know, you know. I don't know, maybe it's a plot like that.
One specific character he needs by his side that will create a domino effect where his influence will be absolute as he looks for followers on his conquest to build Battleworld. We're going to break it all down, the reason why Victor Von Doom specifically chose Tony Stark's face. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel. That's all we do. Thanks to everyone who's been helping grow the channel at a breakneck pace. And if you haven't already, I would just kindly invite you to do so.
I'm telling you,
this is your first time finding the channel, or you've been rocking with us for a while, I would sincerely appreciate your sub. It's the best way to support us. Plus, it'll end you for the giveaways. All you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Now, two things before we jump into this. First of all, we've seen from variants across the multiverse in canon that sometimes they happen to...
Bro, wait, hold on. Before you say this, bro, I gotta ask y'all, you know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments, too. Right now, I've been, like, going back and forth between Marvel and DC shows and One Piece. You know what I'm saying? Whenever, you know, I got the time, whatever the case is, you feel me? But I've been going back and forth. But right now, I'm watching Peacemaker. You feel me? So when I go back to Marvel, what shows I watch? Even if you think I watched it already, just drop it in the comments below, bro. Because I might just rewatch it. You feel me? But what shows or movies should I watch, bro, for Marvel? Let me know in the comments.
Look like each other. Go back to Loki.
You can do it for anime too.
Some of the variants he was introduced to
were mirror
images of Tom Hiddleston. So it could be the case that Victor Von Doom happens to look exactly like Tony Stark. And while there was an argument, at least for a while, that we really only saw variants that looked like doppelgangers when they were of the same entity, we've seen now that Chris Evans is both Steve Rogers and Johnny Storm, depending on where you're at in the multiverse, not different variants of the same character, and they do look exactly the same. So that logic is out the window, and there is
I'm gonna play that back, bro. Y'all let me know if that made sense, bro. So he's not a variant. Pressing the right buttons. That confused me a little bit, bro. It's not the weed. Don't blame it on that, bro. Don't do that. It's not this, bro. I heard it pretty clear, bro.
Doppelgangers when they were of the same entity. We've seen now that Chris Evans is both Steve Rogers and Johnny Storm, depending on where you're at in the multiverse, not different variants of the same character, and they do look exactly the same. So that logic is out the window, and there is canonical basis to say that
bro.
Could be the
so
case. But I think it is also fair to say that is not a very compelling storyline, and there's got to be an obvious reason why Victor Von Doom is now appearing as Tony Stark, and we're going to take that line of logic, thinking that the Russos and everybody else don't want to just call it a coincidence. And by that very same logic, while
he did it for a reason, bro.
Completely cover RDJ's face in scars and disfigurement, as Dr. Doom has presented in the comics from time to time, you don't pay RDJ.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, y'all have y'all seen, like, I'm not sure if they were real or not, but it was a picture of RDJ as Dr. Doom, his face. You know what I'm saying? He had like a line down his, you know. Do y'all think bro stitched his Tony Stark face on his face like leather face due to people faces, bro? And that's why he got a big line in the middle, because he was just trying to, bro. Is Dr. Doom leather facing? Did he leather face Tony Stark, bro? Bro, what y'all think? Because if those photos are real, bro, if they not real, then, you know, scratch my head, you know what I'm saying? But if they real, bro, did he leather face Tony Stark face, bro?
RDJ money to come back and play Dr. Doom and then cover his face. It's very obvious that him looking like Tony Stark is part of the story, so we're going to proceed with that as our basis of logic going forward. He needs Tony Stark's face for a specific reason, and if it's Tony Stark's face, then it means that that has to have influence over specific people and characters. But let's look at the 616 right now and who it could matter most to. Again, Spider-Man is the very obvious character with Peter Parker, but he's reset himself into basically being
Steve Rogers,
unknown in the landscape of superheroes. Even if he is the anchor being in the 616,
not Steve Rogers.
It would be as easy as killing him. You wouldn't need to steal Dr. Doom's face to influence him to fight on your side, which is the reason you would present as his friend and mentor, Tony Stark. Then you look at the two superhero teams in the 616 as well, the two Avengers teams. One of them is basically headed up by Yelena Belova. Again, no history with Tony Stark.
Bro, you can't forget, bro. You remember when, I think it was Civil War, when Tony Stark had his squad versus Steve Rogers' squad? Maybe that helps him already have like his own little group of people on his side already. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably why he stole his face. So he's like, bro, if I take Tony Stark's face, it's already going to be abandoned people that's going to side with me, just due to me having a face. So I already have a tad bit of an advantage. You know, I have a little team, you know. And then I could just explain to them, like, I didn't really die. You know what I'm saying? When I went away, I actually became a hybrid. Like, he could make some type of story up or something like that. And I know they probably gonna ask, like, bro, who's the little boy? You know what I'm saying? When they see Franklin, because I'm saying if he does end up having him as his team, like, from the beginning, because he took the face, whatever, we all know the people who watch Fantastic Four, because I finally watched it, bro. He took Franklin, so they gonna be like, bro, who that little boy right there? And he gonna have to find a way to explain that, bro, because they gonna know, like, bro, we know Tony, we know your kids, bro. Did you have another kid on bro? You cheating on Pepper Potts, bro? Who that little boy right there?
Some on the opposite side of the Civil War battle, and unless they had some sort of making up off screen, fought side by side in many battles, but never really ever reconciled in a way that we saw. And we've talked about this in the history of the MCU. Some characters have been in the same place at the same time, but have not shared on-screen dialogue simply because there is not enough time for it. And the other Avengers right now are led by none other than Sam Wilson's Captain America. Again, a character that was on the opposite side of Civil War on Team Cap.
Did y'all see that AI clip?
If they had some sort of big reconciling
like
as they pressed forward, it wouldn't have been during the beginning of Avengers Endgame. Remember, Sam and Bucky were both snapped, and then Tony Stark died right as they were unsnapped. So again, unless something happened off screen after Civil War and before Infinity War,
I think it's going to be some off-screen stuff
because Tony Stark wouldn't even call Cap, let alone these other two. They probably weren't on the best of terms, or rather, we don't really know how Sam and Bucky felt at the time. They may have sort of softened up about it now, but
good night's nighttime underwear.
But just keep in mind, they would have fought during Civil War, then they would have been incarcerated with Tony Stark basically a part of it. And Bucky felt at the time, they may have sort of softened up about it now, but just keep in mind, they would have fought during Civil War, then they would have been incarcerated with Tony Stark basically a part of that, then they would have been on the run as the Secret Avengers, and Bucky was in Wakanda, and then they got snapped back into existence when Tony Stark died. So there was really no sort of
it's a lot going on
discussion about what happened. You can imagine that if Tony Stark or Victor Von Doom as Tony Stark showed up right now to try to have influence over either of the leaders of these two new Avengers teams, I guess the Avengers and the New Avengers, that it wouldn't be that great of a present. Surely there were other characters that would mean more to both Bucky and Sam Wilson, like Steve Rogers, Captain America. And that's why Victor Von Doom specifically needs Tony's face. He needs to sway Captain America, Steve Rogers' variant that is now back in time, alongside Peggy, to fight alongside him so he can bring Steve alongside him to the 616, and instantly he will have both Avengers teams.
I'm telling you, they could do something like when they both went back in the timeline, he could say when he used Tony's face, because I'm pretty sure he gonna know what they did, you know what I'm saying, when they went back in the timeline and everything, returned stuff and etc, etc. He can possibly be like, when I went back in time, I end up finding out about some stuff about our timeline, and this is the only way we can save it. This is the only way we can save everything, is if we do it this way. You know what I mean? Like, and then at the same time, Steve Rogers could be like, well, I did see something too. You know, when I stayed with Peggy, I seen something. So you might be right. And then, you know, since Dr. Doom, he got sorcery and all that stuff, maybe he could just use his magic to kind of like make him think certain stuff. Or maybe he could use his magic on him slowly to start turning him to kind of just start obeying him in some type of way. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Bro got magic powers. I'm thinking he gonna do all types of shit. That motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking he gonna discombobulate a lot of people when he run into him, and they just gonna be like, all right, we on your team. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's what, if they saying he that power, like he really that powerful to where he fighting everybody and he winning, bro. I'm thinking that's why he winning, cause he gonna have to find a way to really sway these people. But I think that's probably the best way to sway Captain America, bro, because they did both go back together and they landed in the same timeline, bro. So he could be like, it's possible he's telling the truth because me and him are the only ones that landed here, and I did decide to come back and I seen something. You know what I mean? So I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Bucky's on one and Sam's on the other, convinced and joining his side because really they'll be following Steve. Steve will be following Victor Von Doom because Steve will be convinced that Victor Von Doom is a hero. Victor Von Doom is Tony Stark. Now, why would Victor Von Doom need Steve Rogers and two Avengers teams, and presumably maybe by extension the Fantastic Four, all to be siding with him? Who's he going up against that he needs all these heroes? Well, clearly the villain that they're going up against is our now new hero, in Loki. Loki has not had a chance to redeem himself the way that we saw in Loki season 1 and season 2
getting out that chair.
in the eyes of most of the Avengers. In fact, what they'll remember is that Loki invaded New York and was a villain in Avengers 1. So if you had someone who looks like Tony Stark show up to Steve Rogers and say, Loki is the main villain. He's now controlling the multiverse. He's causing incursions, wiping out trillions of lives, and I need your help to defeat Loki in order to set the multiverse free.
And that's gonna already set Thor against them. You know what I'm saying? Thor gonna be like, hell no, I ain't for that. And that's probably gonna signal Thor like, bro, what's going on? Like it, or maybe because I still think, I'm not gonna lie, I think Sylvie's gonna play a big part and letting everybody know like Loki in trouble, you know, like Doctor Doom is coming. If that's how they gonna kind of like present Doctor Doom is on his way by him going towards Loki, maybe Sylvie is like, yo, somebody's coming. So I'm being I haven't seen Loki in a minute. I ain't watched season 2. I only watched like 1 episode of that motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Don't hurt me, bro. I might go back and watch that, bro. I'm done with Peacemaker. But I think Sylvie might play a big part in helping and, you know, telling everybody like what's going on. She might even tell like Deadpool, the Wolverine, or tell the TVA if they still there. You know what I'm saying? Because Deadpool and Wolverine gonna play a part in fixing this up, bro. And they were the ones who went across timelines and stuff. So they might play a key part in this. She might send them out for Loki and like, yo, y'all need to get a team because stuff is going down, bro. And y'all need to go out and go help fight the people that Doctor Doom got out. Because Doctor Doom gonna have those, what they call them, Doctor Doom bots or something like that. He gonna have those too, along with Steve Rogers and them on his side, bro. I guarantee it. Guarantee it, bro. So I think that's probably how it's gonna happen, bro. I think Sylvie gonna alert everybody like, bro, this nigga coming.
Steve Rogers looking
but yeah,
at
Thor ain't gonna be for that, bro. And Thor is gonna
would be
start
inclined
making
to
his
help,
squad.
coming fresh off of a battle with Thanos, knowing
maybe Thor might be the leader of
stones, but that Loki is still a threat. And now with the report that he would be at the center of the multiverse and that they need all the heroes to battle him, well, you can see why he would then take Steve to the 2 new Avengers teams. But where the rub of all of this goes is that as soon as the Fantastic Four make contact with our Avengers, and we know that's happening 100% because Kevin Feige has confirmed some of our heroes are going back to the 828, then it'll be pretty clear that Doctor Doom is a villain and not a hero, and I think it'll just be a case of racing to see who gets to whom first and which side they take. But you guys let me know.
I forgot. I just talked about it. They know Doctor Doom is there because at the end of Fantastic Four, bro, Sue saw Doctor Doom talking to Franklin, and Franklin most likely saw that gash in his face, was like, nigga, you got a big ass gash in your face. You know what I'm saying? That's why he put his hand out to his face and shit. He was probably trying to fix that motherfucker. Like, bro, I'm gonna fix your face, bro. You got something right here in your face, bro. I'm gonna fix that for you. You feel me? Yeah. No, but they gonna end up but I wonder, are they gonna have like a little fight with Doctor Doom, or is Doctor Doom just gonna disappear with Franklin, like go in a portal or something? Because I'm thinking maybe they're gonna have a slight fight, so they're gonna end up knowing like, oh, this motherfucker powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta hurry up and chase him down. Or do you think they chase him down, or do you think they decide to go to the next closest universe to get help? Because they might find out. Because if they know who Doctor Doom, are they gonna know Doctor Doom is Victor Von Doom? Like, are they gonna know that's him? Like, is Reed gonna know, like, I know who he is, bro? We gonna need a squad to get my son back. We can't just by ourselves. And maybe this is why I think Fantastic Four Part 2 might be happening, and it might explain that. But maybe that might come out after, bro. I think movies should come out in between Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, bro. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of plot holes and a lot of loose ends that they can't answer with just a full movie on its own. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, bro. It's because how they gonna cram all of this into Avengers Doomsday, bro? How long is this movie gonna be? Because I did, it might be a part 2 to Avengers Doomsday, so that might be the reason, But if it's not, bro, how long is this movie gonna be, bro?
All your
like
thoughts
9
down
hours
below about this theory. Again,
I'm
there's
gonna have
gotta be a
questions.
specific reason he wants Tony Stark's face, and it's definitely not Spider-Man. Outside of Spider-Man, to me, the only person left that matters right now in this moment is Steve Rogers. Of course, it won't hurt when the OGs like Hawkeye and Thor and Hulk all see Tony Stark's face, but they don't have the same influence and won't the way that Steve Rogers will over the two current Avengers teams that happen to have Bucky and Sam
I'm telling you,
Wilson
I think
as
that
two closest
timeline when
friends
they went
at
back
the head of
together,
both of them. You let me
it's
know all
gonna
your
play a
thoughts
huge
down in the
part in
comments
why
quickly. Let's get
Steve
into the
Rogers
giveaway
is
stuff
on
before I let you go. All right, we are.
Yeah, man, y'all let me know why y'all think he taking his face, bro, because it seemed like that's what happened. He took this nigga face, bro. You know what I'm saying? So y'all let me know why y'all think it happened. You already know how I feel about it, you feel me? Yeah, man, I'm gonna keep y'all updated. I'll see y'all in the next one.